Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. As most of you guys probably know, Fortnite Chapter 2 has finally been released, and after a day of playing, I've decided to make a video of the top 5 things that you might not know about Fortnite, and that's basically what this video is going to be about. 5 things that you probably didn't know about Fortnite Chapter 2. So I'm going to be talking about some new items that they've been adding in, some new locations, and also some tips that are probably going to help you get your first victory royale. Now, I got my first victory royale, my first, probably about 10 games I would say, which was actually pretty easy for me, and some of these tips definitely helped me out getting that victory royale. Anyways guys, if you do want to get your first victory royale, make sure you do drop a like and subscribe guys, as it really does mean a lot. We are so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, and it would really mean a lot if we could hit that pretty soon. Anyways guys, let's jump straight into the video. Now, the first tip I want to talk about is, as you can probably tell from the gameplay in the background, I'm actually in a build battle, and even though I've still got a lot of material left, this tip actually does help you out if you're in a different situation compared to me. Now, as you can see, I actually did have a lot of material, so I could carry on building. But if you actually do run out of material during a build battle, what you can actually do is go ahead and actually farm other people's build. So as you can see in the gameplay in the background, I stopped and I started pickaxing a wall that wasn't mine. Now you can see that the wall wasn't mine because I can't edit it. It was actually the skull troopers that I was versing. As you can see, once I start pickaxing the materials, I'm actually getting around 1 to 3 material back for each swing that I do. Now guys, this is not a really good way of farming materials. I would say it's only a good thing to do while you're in a build battle, because you don't actually get a lot of material back guys. But that's going to be the tip number 1. As I said, it's not probably the greatest tip, but it's definitely something you should be aware of in Fortnite Chapter 2. Anyways guys, let's move on to tip number 2. So as you can see in the gameplay in the background, I'm going to go ahead and land at a new location called Slurpee Swamps. Now this is probably one of my favorite locations to land in Fortnite Chapter 2, because it's actually a really good loot supply, a lot of good guns, and there's also another hidden feature that you guys probably didn't know about. So as most of you guys probably know, items like the Slurp, the Chug Jug, and the Chug Splash have all been removed from the game in this new season, or this new chapter of Fortnite, whatever you want to call it. But did you know you can actually still get these items in game in a different format? So if you go over to land or Slurpee Swamps, there's actually different methods of getting a Slurp or a Slurp Splash, I believe it was called, or a Chug Jug. So as you can see in the gameplay in the background, once I eventually killed this enemy that was getting a chest, there's actually these Slurp barrels in the corner. Now once you go ahead and break them, what they actually do give you is actually little chunks of health back. So as you can see in the gameplay in the background, I originally thought that they only gave you shield, but it actually turns out that they do give you health. So as you can see in the gameplay in the background there, when I was actually breaking them, when the enemy done HP damage to me, I actually lost it and I was around 60 HP. Well, as soon as I started breaking these Slurp barrels, it actually got me all the way back up to 100 HP. Now these Slurp barrels are located all around the map, but I found out that there's actually a larger supply of them at Slurpee Swamps. It goes with the name and it kind of suits it anyways, but this is not the only type of Slurp or way of getting shield in this area. So once I eventually go ahead and do kill this enemy, I don't know what she was thinking, she pushed me and then she just turned around and started facing the wall with a new glow skin, and I just lasered her with a new assault rifle. But anyways, once you eventually do kill your enemies or whatever, Slurpee Swamps is the place to come, just because of the variety of shield. Now this is what I mean. As you can see over here, these are actually Slurp containers. Now in these Slurp containers, if you go ahead and break them, they actually do give you a larger portion of shield. So as you can see in the gameplay, I was 150 there, now I'm 170, so it gives you around 20 shield, which is actually pretty good if you're a solo player or if you're playing in a tournament. Now guys, it's actually a really easy way of getting to max shield and max health. That could be really helpful if you don't have any minis around. Now there's actually a few other methods of getting some extra shield in Slurpee Swamps. If you go ahead and break these big truck tankers, again they go ahead and give you some health and some shield. I don't know the exact number because as you can see in the gameplay in the background, I was already max health and shield. But there is one other method that I forgot to go ahead and record and put in this video. In Slurpee Swamps, there's actually these pools of blue water, as you can see in the mini map in the top right hand corner. These little kind of like pools of slurp juice, if you go ahead and stand in there, they actually do regen your health and shield over time. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to basically go ahead and record that for you guys, but that is another method. So I do recommend you guys coming over to Slurpee Swamps. As I said before, these little slurp containers are located all over the map, but the largest amount of them is in Slurpee Swamp. Anyways guys, let's move on to tip number 3. Alright guys, so for tip number 3, what I want to go ahead and show you guys is how OP and overpowered the fishing rods are. So I feel like not a lot of people, especially in the games that I've been playing in, I've only seen a couple people actually using the fishing rod. Now you can actually use the fishing rod for a few different things. You can actually use it to pull your teammates towards you, even though it's not really that big of a pull. You can actually pull them towards you, and of course you can use it for its main purpose, which is fishing. Now as you can see in the gameplay in the background, what I actually went and done is made my way over to any kind of like big pool of water, and if you see these like little ripples in the water, what you want to do is, if you've got a fishing rod, is go ahead and throw your fishing rod lure into that spot and wait until you get like a little bite. Now you'll know you got a bite on your fishing rod when you see like little ripple of water right under the spot where you throw your fishing rod. Now, as you can see in the gameplay in the background, I just got myself a blue pump. Now what you want to do is wait until you see that little ripple and pull it in. And once you pull it in, you can get different items. So you can get weapons, and you can also get healing items. So as you can see in the gameplay in the background, my second pull, I actually got a fish called the flopper. Now this fish actually gives you HP, so it's similar to a med kit or bandages, but I believe it does give you 50 HP back. Now we'll show a little bit of gameplay later on of me actually using these fishes in a fight, which will be actually pretty helpful. The fishes are actually kind of overpowered. I believe there is 3 types. So there's the slurp fish, then there's the flopper fish, and then there's one called a fry fish. So the fry fish I believe gives you 25 HP of just normal health, and then the flopper fish, which I've got in my inventory right now, gives you 50 HP, and then the slurp fish gives you 50 shield. Now as you can see in the gameplay in the background guys, fishing is actually super overpowered. I don't think a lot of people realize that. So out of my like 4 casts that I've done so far, I've got a blue pump, I've got 2 healing fishes, and I've also got a blue pistol. And right now, as you can see in the gameplay in the background, I just got a blue FAMAS. Now, and again, I completely forgot about this, but I actually got a blue tack straight after I got the blue FAMAS. So fishing is overpowered, especially if you're playing solo, or even if you're playing squads and you don't want to land in a popular area. All you have to do is land somewhere where there's a little bit of water and where you can see these ripples, and all you have to do is go up to one of these buckets that you can see on screen right now and hold F, and you can search it and get a free fishing rod out of it. So you don't even need to get a fishing rod, you don't even need to find a fishing rod on ground loot. Anyways guys, what I want to go ahead and show you is actually how good these fishing What I want to actually go ahead and do is show you how good these fishes are in actual build battles. So what I'm going to do is actually cut to a point where I'm fighting a guy. I'm going to show you how effective these fishes are for healing up during the fight and after the fight. Alright guys, so as you can see from the gameplay in the background, I decided to cut out the first part of the fight just because this guy was being quite annoying and kept on running back into his 1x1. But what I want to show you is how OP the flopper fish are. So as you can see in the gameplay in the background, this guy actually got me pretty weak. And once I decided to use the flopper fish, they only take 1 second to use, and it gets me all the way back to 50 HP for 1 second. So after 2 seconds, I'm basically full HP and I'm ready to fight again. So as you can see guys, fishing in Fortnite is definitely underrated. I definitely recommend you guys doing it. Anyway guys, let's move on to tip number 4. Alright guys, so for tip number 4, I want to show you how OP the boats actually are in Fortnite. Not only on the water, but also on land. So as you can see in the gameplay in the background, there's something a little bit different. I actually had to go ahead and get the recordings from my replay factor. Because basically my file got corrupted, so yeah, this is the only way I could actually go ahead and get the gameplay and get this video off as soon as possible. So as you can see, there's no hotbar and you can't see my weapons and stuff like that, but in the gameplay in the background, basically what I'm using is the boost feature on the boat to get into the safe zone. So as you can see right now, I'm actually in the storm and I actually had a pretty far way to go. But as you can see, by using the boat and by boosting on land, if you actually get it right, you can actually go pretty far, pretty fast. Now the boats are a new addition to Fortnite, and they're actually the only rotation method that are actually in the game right now, other than a few zip lines located on the edge of the map and stuff like that. So the boat is our only rotation method, and it's actually pretty good on land. As you can see in the gameplay in the background, it actually does get you everywhere pretty quick, especially on the water. Of course it is a boat, so it is meant to be used on water, but you can actually use it surprisingly well on land guys. So if you're ever in a tough situation where you need to cross the land and there's a boat nearby, I definitely recommend you guys jumping in the boat and boosting. Now unfortunately the boat does tend to bug out. As you can see in the gameplay in the background, I got stuck on probably the biggest rock that is in Fortnite, and it took me ages to break while I was taking down from storm damage. But as you can see, you can actually use the boat pretty effectively in Fortnite right now. Now as I've said before, it is most effectively on water, but you can use it to get on land and go pretty far, guys. And I actually did manage to get into this ring just before I died, and bear in mind I actually managed to use 2 med kits in the time. Now I'm pretty sure if I was running I wouldn't be able to make it, guys, but as you can see from the gameplay, the boat is actually a very useful tool. Anyways guys, let's move on to our last and final tip, tip number 5. Alright guys, so for our last and final tip, I want to go ahead and show you guys a new feature that Fortnite have added, which is a crafting workshop. Now I'm just going to call it a crafting workshop because that's what I kind of like the name of it. But basically what this workshop bench allows you to do is upgrade your weapons. So for example, if you have a blue weapon, you can upgrade it to purple. As you'll see in the gameplay in the background, I upgraded my blue SMG to a purple P90. And now of course this comes at a cost. Because Fortnite removed vending machines, I think this is like a new workaround of it, so you can actually guarantee yourself a gold or a better tier weapons. Now this is the location that I found it in Dirty Docks on the right hand side of the map, under this kind of like little shed area. But again, I'll show you all the different prices. So let's just say you have a green weapon, as you can see on screen right now, it will cost you 150 of all material. For blue it will cost you 250 of all material to upgrade it, and for purple it will cost you 350. So it's actually pretty expensive once you get to purple to upgrade to a gold weapon. I don't know if it's worth going to gold, as it is a lot of material that you could use that in the build battle, but it's definitely worth checking out and definitely worth upgrading your green weapons to blue, so you just can do that little bit extra more damage during a build battle, or a fight, sorry. Anyways guys, that's gonna be it for our last tip. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you do drop a like and subscribe. As you guys can probably tell, it did take me a lot of time to make this video, so any likes and comments and stuff like that would really be appreciated. Anyways guys, I will catch you in the next video. Peace.